You're welcome. Hey, everybody. Y'all, I got my mama Mother's Day gift, or early Mother's Day gift. Y'all want to see it? Isn't it pretty? Isn't it pretty?
Doesn't
it look nice?
I love it. It's so nice. I love it.
I'm so mad.
See, I smile all the time now. See?
No, I ain't even gonna lie. I got it off of Timu, but it's the thought that counts.
It's the thought that counts. It's the fucking. It's the fuck. My teeth too big. They're too big.
They too big?
They too big. They too big. I did know. Hey guys, and welcome to Storytime, where the stories are true, but the characters are family, and friends. Now, if you're new to my page, please hit that subscribe button at the bottom in the corner, and also hit that bell notification so you can be notified when I go live or drop a video. Also, to the replay gang, y'all close the door. Please close the door. And if you would like to be included in one of these stories time, you're part of the replay gang. You can also tip your auntie with the super links below this video. And boom, you'll be entered into story time. Now, to speak to everybody that actually showed up, yours. Hey, Chastain. Hey, Lakeisha. Hey, Elle. Hey, Regina. Hey, Trucker. Hey, Chunky Chick. Hey, Miss D. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, KK. Yes, it has been way too long, boo-boo. Way too long. And I see it's been so long that y'all ain't even remember to close the door. It's been that long that y'all ain't even remember to close the door. But I'm going to give you time. I'm going to give you time to close the door. And if you're new to my page and you don't know what I mean when I say close the door, that means thumbs up the live, okay? Hey, Cherry Blossom. Hey, Sharada. Been a long time for you too, boo. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Nino. What's going on, Nino? What's going on, nephew? Misty. Hey, Sweetie. Sweetie, please tell me you wash your nasty ass hands today, because we ain't got time for your bullshit. Hey, Tay, baby. Girl, you been gone too for a long time. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, Evelyn. Yes, I did see you on my live today. Thank you for the support, Evelyn. Yes. Hey, Talali. You been gone for a minute, but you're here. Hey, Dion. You in story time tonight, girl. Hey, Nakia. Let's see. Yes, to say hello to everybody. Let me see. Who else? Who else I didn't say hello to? Hey, Reality. Hey, Suki. Hey, Trina. Thank you, Nina. I can go ahead and pin that at the top. You enjoyed my live today. Thank you, Nakia. Hey, Indigo Eyes. You can ride a chocolate door clothes. Thank you, bitch. I greatly appreciate it. But you know the motto, bitch. You break, you buy. So you break anything in this house on the wall while you chopping doors down around here, your ain't gonna pay for it. Let's see. It ain't a holiday, so I can't wash my hands. Bitch, go wash your hands. Stinking finger having ass little girl. Hey, Lala. Hey, Leah. And hey, Talisha. Did you find out what happened? The catfish eat somebody? He's so silly. All right, guys, welcome to Storytime. No catfish ain't nobody that we know of, but who knows? Yes. Hey, you guys, welcome to Storytime. Please go over and close the door. That means thumbs up the live. Yes, we'll be starting story time in 3 minutes. I'm giving you time to get everything you need. Your cakes, your snacks, your cookies, your pies, your hot wings, your fried fish, whatever you eat tonight. I'm giving you time to pull it over to your device so you don't have to move when the story time starts. Hey, Marcus, I hope you park. Are we parked tonight or are we driving and listening tonight? Let me know. Yes, so bring all your snacks, your cakes, and pies over to your device. Put your prawn snatchers in the room. Turn on SpongeBob. Get yourself in the dog and get ready for story time. We finna start this thing in like 2 minutes. Y'all get 2 stories tonight. And if you are wondering how you can be included in story times, well, let me tell you. There are 3 ways you can be included in story time. The first way you can be included in story time is by joining the family. Basically, the membership that I have. The smallest package that I have is $1.99. So it ain't cutting into your blunt change, your baby ice cream money, none of that shit. It's $1.99 a month. That gets you put in a story as well as a special thank you from me on the community page. Now, the second way to be included in story time is any tip over $10 will automatically get you put in a story time. You can send that tip through Cash App, which that information is pinned at the top of the chat. Or you can send it through YouTube, however, whichever, thanks in advance. The only difference between the tips is the Cash App tip come with a little shit talking because somebody always talking shit about how they beat the last person tip. So it just comes with a little shit talking. That's the only difference between the Cash App and the YouTube tips, but they all go to the same place and they still include you for story time. Now, the last and final way you can be included in story time, we have this thing called the biggest tipper. Biggest tipper start at $35. Anybody that tips over $35 and then somebody tip over them and then somebody tip over them, well, you get the idea. The biggest tipper will be the winner and it put in 3 back-to-back story times. Count them with me, people. 1, 2, 3. Sweetie. 1, 2, 3. So you got them numbers right. 1, 2, 3. You'll be in 3 back-to-back story times. Now that we all know how we can be included in story time, we about to get ready to crank this shit up, y'all. We about to get ready to start this shit. So get yourself in the dark. If you can see me really well, let me put my phone on. Do not disturb. Thank you, Miss D. Thank you, Crystal. Yes. We're about to get ready to crank this thing up. And send your auntie them tips. Y'all know Mother's Day coming up. Auntie is a mother of a bunch of children she can fucking want, but got them anyway. I should have swallowed half of them, but I didn't. And they're here now. So, mother's here. All right, guys. So if you are ready to start this story time, we about to crank this shit up. If you are ready, go ahead and give me those thumbs in the chat. And if you haven't closed the door, thumbs up live. Those, I need 2 thumbs. I'm like Kevin Gates around this motherfucker. I need 2 thumbs. 2 thumbs from everybody. Let's get it. Welcome back, Regina. We left the light on, baby. We knew you were coming home. Welcome home, baby. You came right on back. Well, I'm sorry to tell you we had to give your room to another family member, bitch. But you can come on in. You walk down the hallway, go downstairs in the basement. We finished all that. We redid all that. So you go downstairs in the basement, you make a left and another quick left, and you're gonna be sharing rooms with, with Chastain. So Sweetie don't like wash her hands. Don't let that bitch get your clothes either. But you'll be sharing, your area will be down there with them. Y'all be sharing that area. So welcome home, bitch. That's where your room is. All right, we got them thumbs started. We got them thumbs. Come on with it. Close the door. We got like 10 of y'all that ain't closed the door. 10 of y'all ain't thumbs up live. We need them 10 thumbs up live. Everybody else, join the family. Regina, join the family. Talisha, join the family. $1.99. $1.99 a month. It's not coming into your blunt change, your rolling papers, none of that bullshit. Gas, it ain't cutting into none of that. $1.99. Not my area clean as fuck. Chastain say her area clean as fuck, but Sweetie area ain't clean as fuck. So just to let you know, hey Jessica, you was almost late for story time. All right, guys, we about to get ready to start this first story. Moderators, are y'all in the building? I see Nino's in the building. What the rest of my moderators? Go Tay. All right, moderators, y'all already know. Anybody shows up late, or you'll see a late slip, a doctor's excuse, a toe tag, or whatever the fuck they got to let me know that they were late, okay? Hey, Venus, you was almost late too. Yes, thank you for being here, Sookie. Making sure you on top of it. You stand by the door. Anybody else shows up late, choke slam there, let them know Auntie need what she need. Hey, Sophia, you was about to be late too and miss your story time, bitch, but like to hear. Kay, you here? Okay, Kay, I need you standing in front of these desks. As they come in, inch their ass around, let them know where to sit, tell them shut the hell up, and we can go ahead and get this started, okay? All righty. Nah, I got a baby shower to pay for that. The baby ain't even mine. Everybody, fuck them kids. All right, guys, here we go. So our first story of the night has Step, Symphonia, and Chastain. Now, the word of the night, you guys, the word of the night is suddenly. Every time you hear your auntie say suddenly, that means you take a shot. So when you hear your auntie say suddenly, you take a shot. And I think I just said suddenly like 4 or 5 times, so y'all should be a little tipsy by now. Take the shots, throw them back. Come on with it. What y'all drinking? Put it in the comments. Let me know what y'all drinking on tonight. Because we taking these shots. Got your wine tumblers, whatever wine you drinking tonight. The word is suddenly. We are using the word suddenly tonight. So every time you hear the word suddenly, you take a shot. Okay? Chastain, don't take no shots. You at work. We don't need you fired. Oh my goodness. Take it to my she medicated. Okay. Look, if you are allowed to take shots, take your shots. Everybody else with your fucking baby ass excuses. We get it. You ain't gonna take no fucking shots. We get it. Okay? So everybody else take shots for the motherfuckers that can't take shots. Hey, I got my drink on deck. That's what I'm talking about, Miss Shim. Take shots for your cousins that's at work and can't take fucking shots. All right, guys. Step, Symphonia, Chastain. Are you guys in here? Let me see. Let's see. Symphonia's in here. Step. I ain't seen Step. Chastain. I know Chastain in here. Symphonia in here. Step. I changed my name, but it's me. Okay. All right. Does tea count? Whatever you got to drink, baby. If you do whatever you got to drink, it counts. Symphonia, you close the door. Okay. Well, Step, if she don't speak the hell up, I'm assuming she done ran her ass into the hallway to suck a dick. But y'all let her know when she come back, she on my shit list because her ass wasn't here when I did roll call. Got it? Good. Here we go. Symphonia, Chastain, Step. You ladies enjoy your story. Like to hear it. Here we go. So Chastain, Step and Symphonia have been together about 7 years, right? And they are a same-sex couple. They had been together for about 7 years. And Step had a 4-year-old daughter that Chastain had been helping her raise. Now they've raised this baby. Everything's going good and fine. So one day, Step's in the house, washing dishes, cleaning up the house like she normally does. And she hears a lot of commotion going on outside, like a lot of noise, a lot of people. So she stopped washing dishes. She goes to the window. She looks. It's a bunch of neighbors outside. So she go outside to see what the hell going on. And the biggest house on the block is being evicted. Oh, the marshals is out there kicking their ass out. Up to my Panale shit on the lawn. And all the neighbors are like standing around watching because these ain't no broke ass people. The shit they got in this house is worth some money. So everybody's like standing around like, mopping the beach and, vacuuming their grass and shit, watching to see, what's going to happen. So everybody's standing out there watching the shit. The marshals bring all this shit out. They tossing everything out the fucking house. The owner of the house is a guy. He's running around arguing with everybody like, I paid I paid the money for the house. What are y'all doing? He going off, all this shit coming out. Onto my home gym equipment, everything. His flat screens, curve flat screens, all this shit coming up out of the house. So he got to argue with them, and of course the neighbors are watching everything, including Step. She's like, okay, So I guess when he leave, I'm gonna go over there and get that fucking curved TV. Because everybody already eye marking the shit that they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, he better get that shit up out of here or it's good as gone. So everybody's eye marking everything on the motherfucking yard they want, right? So Step's like, okay, I'm gonna go in the house, wait for them to clear out, and I'm gonna get the shit that I want. So she's in the house, you know what I'm saying? Everything clears out. And Symphonia comes in the house. And she's like, she walks in the house with 2 mirrors and a big ass painting. So Step's like, where the fuck did you get this shit from? And she's like, oh, yeah, but motherfuckers down the street got evicted, but all they shit outside. So she's like, oh yeah, I heard, is the man gone? The police, the man gone? And he like, man, the neighbors are going through that shit. He like, I see motherfuckers running off with TVs and everything. Like, I couldn't really fit a lot of shit in the car, but they got a lot of shit out there. So Step like, let's go. So Symphonia jumps in the car, they drive back down, and they get a few more things, a wood oak rocking chair, and old record player that they brought. So they got that too from down there. And they bring that shit in the house. They hang everything. It's a mirror in their room, a mirror in Chastain's room. It's a painting over the fireplace in the living room. Like, they just don't put this shit like it's there. They don't put it in there, right? The next day, Chastain comes home. She comes home from being at a friend's house. She stayed at a friend's house. Now, Chastain's about 6 years old when this go down. So she comes from her friend's house, and, you know, Sophia brings her home, and her and Sophia walk through the door, and Sophia just comes in, closes the door, and she walks on, you know, take her coat off and everything. But she noticed Chastain didn't move. Like, time she came in the house, she didn't move. She stood right there, feet glued to the floor. So Sophia looked back, and she like, come on in, baby, what you doing? Come on in and sit down. And she's looking at Chastain, and Chastain is eye locked on this fucking painting over the fucking fireplace. Like, she's eye locked to that shit. And she just staring at it. And Sophia like, oh, you talking about the painting? You like it? It's a new painting. You like it? And she just stares at that shit. She don't say nothing. And then Steph come in the room. She like, hey, Chastain, baby, did you have fun on your friend's house? Chastain don't speak. She's still staring at this goddamn, she's still staring at this fucking painting. So Steph comes over to her and she's like, are you okay, baby? What's going on? And Chastain don't say shit. And she looks up and she sees Chastain looking at the painting and she like, oh, we got a new painting in the house. You like it? Chastain looked at that painting and she looked up at Steph and she was like, no. And she charged upstairs and ran upstairs and ran to her room. Sophia and Steph looking at each other like, I guess she just don't like the fucking painting. Oh, well. You know what I'm saying? Cool. So that night they eat everything, go to bed. Now while Sophia and Steph is in the bed sleep, they wake up to Chastain like jumping in the bed, screaming, somebody's in my room, somebody's in my room. Like she's shaking the bed, shaking both of them. Somebody's in my room, somebody's in my room. So Sophia and Steph get up and they're like, what? She like, somebody's in my room. Somebody's in my room. Like she's adamant about this shit. So both of them get up out of the bed and they go into Chastain's room. They check her closet, they check up under her bed, they check behind the door. They don't find nobody in this room. They like, ain't nobody in here, but she is adamant about this shit. Like, yes, it is. It's somebody in here. So they check the whole house. She walked with them. They check the whole fucking house. They don't find nobody in the house. So they tell Chastain, there's nobody in the house, baby. And she's like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Can I sleep with y'all? So they bring her in their room. And then when she dozed off, they put her ass back in her bed. Okay? So Steph started cooking breakfast that morning. And Chastain gets up and she comes downstairs and she just like comes into the kitchen. And she's like, mommy. She throws up all over the fucking floor. So Steph turns around like, what the fuck? She grabs Chastain. Chastain is burning up. She got a high fever. So she's like, what the fuck? She assumes Chastain has caught something over at this friend's house. So she get her medication. She put her back in the bed. You know what I'm saying? She's like, you're going to be okay. You just sit. You know what I'm saying? And she puts Chastain back in the bed. Steph go back to the kitchen, clean up the throw up, and she started back doing what she doing. A little later, Sophia comes in the house, and she like, baby. So Steph come out the kitchen. She like, who in the room with Chastain? And Steph like, ain't nobody in the room with Chastain? And Sophia like, yes, the fuck it is somebody in the room with Chastain. Who in the room with Chastain? And again, Steph like, ain't nobody in the room. Before she can finish saying that shit, Sophia takes off. She runs straight into Chastain's room, open up the door, and there's nobody there. And she's telling her, I saw somebody in her room when I pulled up. It was somebody in this room. And she's like, babe, nobody's here. Nobody's in the house. But Sophia know what the fuck she saw. So she's telling her, it was somebody in this fucking room. I saw somebody in here. Steph brushes the shit off. Whatever. She goes on back downstairs and continues to do what she's doing. Now they have dinner. Dinner goes pretty well. You know, she was able to keep down the food, so dinner goes pretty well. And at night, you know, they put her in the bed, and Sophia and Steph goes into their bedroom, and they sit there in the bed to watch TV. As they're watching TV, they hear the doors in the house start to slam close, one after another. Bow, bow, bow. This scares them, so they jump up. They looking around like, what the fuck going on? When they run over to the bedroom door to go to their door slam closed right there, both of their face. Bow! And when it slammed closed, you hear Chastain scream, mommy, help me! So they like, what the fuck? They trying to get the door open. They snatching on the door. The door will not open. All the lights go out in the house. Blah, all at the same time. So Sophia's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, she's trying to get the door open. And Steph's still like, baby, get the door open. Something's wrong with Chastain. We need to get out. So Sophia's trying to get the fucking door open. And Steph sees something move out the corner of her eye. So she looks to the right and she sees an old woman with white hair, long fucking fingers in like a robe, like a black robe. But this lady's face was not like oh, that's a sweet little grandma. Hell no. This is something out of fucking Insidious. This bitch is like, and she's looking like she's about to come at Step. So Step like, baby, and she runs over to Sophia and she's like, look. And Sophia's turned around and look, but there's nobody there. And she's telling her, like, it was a fucking woman over there. It was a woman. And they hear Chastain scream again. So at this point, Sophia's like hitting the door, boom, boom, and the door is not opening. And Step was like, baby, it was somebody over there. So Sophia turned to look again, and then click, the door's just open. And they both turn around, they look at the door, and the shit is like opening on its own. Yeah. They hear Chastain again. They run down out of their room, run down the hallway to Chastain's room, open Chastain's door, and Chastain is sitting on this old woman's lap. She looked like she's in a fucking trance. She's just staring. She looked fucking dead. Like she was just staring. Like no emotion in her face. She wasn't screaming anymore. She was just crying. She was just emotionless. Sitting on this lady's fucking lap like a puppet, like a fucking dummy. You know what I'm saying? And she's just staring at them. Like she's staring at both Sophia and, Step, just looking in their direction. Not looking at them, but just looking in the direction. And Step is like, oh, do you see this shit, baby? Like, Sophia's like, who the fuck are you? Who are you? And when she says, who are you? It's like Chastain's mouth opens up and she has the voice of an old woman. It didn't even sound like Chastain. It sounded like an old fucking woman. And she said, you dare take my things? I'll take yours. And then Chastain goes back into this fucking trance. And Step like, please don't hurt my child. Can you just put her down? And Chastain's body starts to lift off this lady's leg up into the air. And this lady is just looking at them. And they are like, looking at Chastain. And she's like rised all the way to down to the ceiling. To her face is like touching the ceiling. So Step again, begged the lady, please don't hurt my child. Please put her down. Sophia like, put my fucking baby down. When she say put my fucking baby down, everybody hear a loud pop. Bam! And you just see Chastain's arm turn the wrong fucking way. She screams out, like, what the fuck? Sophia's like, what? Don't hurt my baby. The second arm, bow, same fucking thing, twist. She is screaming her head off in this fucking ceiling, like she's floating on top of the ceiling. Her head, she is screaming. Both arms are broken. So Step, tells Sophia, shut the fuck up. And she's like, please, don't hurt her. I swear. We'll take it back. We'll take your stuff back. Just don't hurt her. And the lady's like looking at Chastain. And then she looks down at Sophia and Step. And then the door slams in their face, hard as shit, knocking both of them on the ground. And they hear a loud thud. Boom! And Chastain hollers again. Ah! They jump up. They open the door. The lady's gone. But Chastain is laying there in pain. So they jump up, you know what I'm saying? They get Chastain and we got to take her to the hospital. So it's like, we got to get her together. But before we take her to the hospital, we got to gather all this shit in the house and get it out. So that's what they did. They sat Chastain, put Chastain on the bed. They ran room for room. They got the mirror out of Chastain's room, the mirror out of their room, the paint off the motherfucking wall, the record player. They got everything they brought from that motherfucking house to take it back to the yard of where they got it from. And the funny part about that shit was, they wasn't the only ones bringing shit back in the middle of the night. It seemed like every fucking neighbor in the neighborhood was bringing fucking 72-inch curved flat screens back to the fucking yard and sitting that shit back down in the yard. Like all of the neighbors, middle of the night. We say it's like 2 o'clock in the fucking morning and all the neighbors are moving. It's like they moving. These motherfuckers are all help me told their flat screen back down. These motherfuckers are moving all that shit that they took from that yard and putting it back. So that everybody, put their shit back. Everybody, it's a whole lot of motherfuckers, like the whole street, walking down the street with furniture and all types of shit. So everybody put the shit back that they had, of course, Step and Sophia, put their shit back. They jumped in the car and they took Chastain to the hospital. When they get back, one of the neighbors that saw them returning shit seen them pull up and they asked, like, I just got one question to ask you. If it sounds weird, you ain't got to say nothing. And, of course, Sophia and Step like, what's up? And they was like, did something weird happen in your house last night? And Sophia and Step looked at each other like, what do you mean weird? And the neighbor was just like, yeah, it happened to y'all too. I thought it was just us, but when I seen everybody bringing shit out of their house, I knew it wasn't just us. And she was looking at Chastain, and she was like, her arms. She's like, they broke. My son got his leg broken. Like all the neighbors' kids got hurt. Everybody that took some shit from this fucking front yard, kids, had something to break on their ass that night, and that's why all these parents was piling up, bringing all this shit back where they got it from. They later find out that the dude whose house it was, where all the furniture came from, this motherfucker was crazy. Like, he had all this money, he was just fucking crazy. Like, this man's mom had a seizure probably like 6 years before all this. She had a seizure, and she couldn't take care of herself. So instead of putting her in a home, he decided to put her in the house with him, where he wasn't even really taking care of the woman. You know what I'm saying? And when she passed, he didn't notify nobody. He just kept putting clothes on this bitch and sitting her in the fucking bed like she was cool. So all this shit that everybody got was in this house with this dead-ass woman. This woman was in this house. There was some Norman Bates type shit. That woman had been dead in that house for a while. And they didn't figure that shit out until they go in there to get the rest of the stuff out, because whoever was evicting her was sending people in to paint. So like 2 jobs going on at the same time. You getting the fuck out and we cleaning it up for the next people. And they just don't happen to come across that shit when they came out there a few days later to get more of that shit up out of the house. They come across this nigga mama sitting in the motherfucking bed with a dinner tray over her fucking lap. And she just fucking Skeletor in the goddamn bed in a brand new Gucci suit. Like, this bitch she clean. She open casket sharp. No pun intended. Well, maybe. She open casket sharp in this motherfucker, and she's in the bed and a whole goddamn lunch tray across her like she was finna eat dinner, and this lady ain't tasted food in forever. You know what I'm saying? So they find out that all the shit that was in the house had been around this woman, this dead-ass woman. So everybody was taking their shit back, and the lady was like, did you see the woman? Like, yeah, that's that bitch. That was the one that was at that house. Everybody turned their shit back in. Everybody turned their stuff in. And when the next neighbor got put out, everybody didn't do nothing but look out the motherfucking window. Don't nobody want none of the shit in your yard. This is the safest neighborhood in the world to get evicted from. You can put a whole safe out of your motherfucking yard and won't nobody touch it. Like, won't nobody touch it. Everybody learned their lesson that day to not take shit from people when they get evicted. So the moral of this story is, I know we all see people get evicted. I know I fuck their front yard. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, they look good. Ooh, they don't get that shit. I'm gonna get that shit. You be careful what you pick up and you bring out of other people's motherfucking house, because some of this shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit. Some of this shit ain't right. And if you're gonna get anything, don't get nothing with a face on it. Don't get they fucking family portraits. You don't know these goddamn people. Leave that shit over there and don't get no mirrors. Definitely don't get no fucking mirrors. You bring a whole portal in your house. Then what? When you wake up and little Johnny ass is being sucked through a mirror like motherfucking poltergeist, then what? All y'all going to Comcast? All y'all going to complain that goddamn Comcast took your baby through the TV? No. So stop picking this shit up out of people's yard. Let that shit stay where it is. That's the moral of the story. That's your guys' first story. This is your brief intermission where you get to go to the bathroom, get you something to drink, retwist your twisties, refill your shot glasses, go over and tip your auntie, and meet me back here in 3 minutes for the next story of the night. I have never took anything from the curb. I was always told to never. That is so good. You don't take shit from nobody. I'm telling you. I told y'all what happened to me when my daughter did that shit. I ain't got my daughter back since. So she still, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that shit. No. You naively let shit into your house by accident, just, So no. You don't know where this shit came from. You don't know where that person got it from. It's just best that you don't, you know what I'm saying, do it at all. All right, so like Crystal and Miss D is the only people that has tipped. So y'all know how many stores that is. Don't get mad at me. Across the streets, they having garage sales and giving stuff away. I'd be like, what's wrong with all this stuff and why all right. So definitely, yeah. I don't trust garage sales, yard sales. I don't trust none of that shit, because You don't know where none of that stuff come from. And I told y'all what happened to me when that shit happened. Like, I fucked around and let my daughter get one picture and a mirror and shit from across the street when some folk got put out, and it was the worst motherfucking day of our life. My whole family like fell apart because of all this bullshit she brought from across the street. So no, that is not something that you want to do because you don't know where this shit come from. You don't know what they used it for. Some people scribe. Some people sit in the mirror and stare at them fucking selves to try to see if they can. You don't know what these folks do with this shit. Don't bring it in your house. That's all I can say. You got to add in the middle of the line. What the fuck? See, I'm looking into that, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm looking into that. Every time I reach out to them about that shit, they like, YouTube Premium will stop all of that. Like, that's what I want to pay for that. What the fuck? But that's what they telling me. But I'm still gonna keep working into the system until I find a way to turn the shit off. All right, guys. One more minute, and we about to start the last story of the night. Go over and tip y'all auntie. Please don't forget to go over and tip your auntie. I greatly appreciate it. And I have a neighbor like that too, Miss Chevy. I have a neighbor like that too, always throwing garage sales and shit. Like, I be thinking that too, like, what's wrong with that shit? Because if it's still working and it's still good, why you giving it away? What's wrong with it? But, I know one thing, Aunt don't allow us to do that shit either. Aunt don't allow the kids to bring nothing in this motherfucking house. Who you said? Miss D. It was Miss D and Crystal. Yeah, Miss D and Crystal. Are you getting paid for the ads? I guess. I don't know. And when I do, they be like 7 cents. I don't know. But I'm going to figure out how to turn that shit off. Don't worry. I got your back, Miss D. I'm going to fight for y'all because I don't want to pay no extra shit either. Especially the state said, yes, the state sales are very fucking dangerous. That mean them folks had that shit for a long, and I mean long fucking time. And that shit could have came from 19s, 18s. Y'all done seen the shit folks have in their house when they do them fucking hoarder stories and, plantation houses from back in the day. A whole lot of shit come up out of there. All your skeletons fall out your closet. So, yeah. All right, guys. We're about to get ready to start the last story of the night. If you guys are back and ready for the last story of the night, go ahead and give me those thumbs. Give me those thumbs. Give me those thumbs. Hope y'all should be about tipsy because I say it suddenly 1,000 times. Thank you, sweetie. Give it a thumbs. Let me know y'all ready. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with a little state cheer. Honey, please, shit. Okay. That's what you think until you come downstairs to get you some water in the middle of the night. You see some motherfucker sitting in that chair that ain't supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. Then you jump out your fruit balloons and everybody mad. Nah, you should not. Should not, because Auntie told you. This story is a little doozy. It's a little doozy, but y'all like the doozies, so. All right, guys. The last story of the night has Dion, Jasmine, and Reese with a C. Dion, Jasmine, and Reese with a C. Are you asking me, Evelyn? Because you just put the word there. So, thank you, Evelyn. I just seen it. Thank you, Evelyn. Yes, I see your Cash App Chastain. So Chastain, Evelyn, and Miss D. I mean, Chastain, Evelyn, Crystal. No, I ain't get yours, Chastain. I see Crystal, Miss D, and Evelyn. Let me go into the app. Okay, I got you, Chastain. So I got Miss D. Miss D, I'm sending you a heart, so you know I got yours. So you get your receipt. All right, so those 4 ladies, Miss D, Crystal, Chastain, and Evelyn, we got y'all. Moderators, y'all got that? Where's Gemini? Did she change her name? Gemini, no, it's normally Gemini or either Parnisa. But I think Gemini is taking like a mental health day, so we're going to give her that. Thank you, Trina! Thank you, love. Look. All righty, guys. The last story of the night. I know, right, Mindy? Thank you, reality. I know, right, Mindy? All right, guys. The last story of the night has Jasmine, Reese, and Dion. Thank you, Dion. I know Dion in here. I know Jasmine is in here. Did I see Reese with a C? Has anybody seen her? She didn't say nothing. Okay, Reese with a C must be in the hallways with some balls in her jaw. So we ain't gonna buy. Look, I'm late again. Stop putting them dicks in your mouth so late, okay? Start early so you can get here on time, Reese. Goodness, I was gonna call your mom and let her know you was out here giving that ass up to everybody. You know when you cut my class, I call and tell a big loud. You know it, and the family gonna back it up. You know it. But we got perfect attendance, guys, y'all. We got perfect attendance. So we got Reese, Jasmine, and Dion. Thank you, ladies, for being here in class on time. Some of y'all. But we're about to get ready to start the last story of the night, so I hope you ladies enjoy. Now, Jasmine, Reese, and Dion went to go visit their grandparents. Mom and dad was going through some shit, didn't want the kids to see it, so they decided to send them to their grandparents. Their grandparents who live in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. So you know this is shit about to get good, right? Thank you, Jasmine. Okay. So they go to New Orleans, right? And they're there with their grandparents. So when they get there in the daytime, they put all their stuff down, and grandparents got a lot they want to show them. So it's like, come on, Jasmine, Reese, Dion, let's go. So they get in the car and they go down to Bourbon Street and they go to all the places, okay? They hit everything up. So they was like, you know, they rode past a lot of House and grandparents was just showing them everything. So they had a good time and they was out there. And then when it started to get late, Grandma told Grandpa, before we go, we need to stop by the butcher shop. So it's like, okay, cool. So they stopped by the butcher shop. Grandma told them she'll be right back. She goes in. She comes out with a bag of something red. So she gets into the car, and the girls are like, okay, what the fuck is going on? So what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? So Jasmine's like, you got what you needed, Grandma? She like, yeah. Reese like, what is it, Grandma? She like, mind your business. That ain't got nothing to do with you. So Dion didn't even bother to tell her that shit stank. She just left it alone. You know what I'm saying? So they driving on home, and Grandpa's singing, and they singing in the car, and they pull up at the house, and as they're getting ready to get out the car, Grandma drops the bag. When she drops the bag, red shit go everywhere. When they go there, well, this smell of fuck that shit rises in the air, and everybody's like, oh my goodness, what the fuck is... Oh, so they are instantly like, Grandma, that stuff stank. What is that? And she just like, she looks frantic. She's telling the granddad like, oh my God, I dropped it. And he like, calm down, baby. She's like, no, I dropped it. Did you get it? Did I get wet? Trina, I'm sorry. Gotta let me know what you're talking about, Trina. Did I get wet? So she's like, she's telling the granddad, no, it's not all right. You know, I dropped it. So the girls are, you know, piling up out the car, and Jasmine sees Grandma reach down to pick up the bag, you know, that it fell out of, and she noticed her grandma's arm was wrapped up with a bandage. She had like a white bandage around her arm. So when she sees that, Jasmine like, Grandma, what happened to your arm? And her grandma just hurried up and pulled her sleeve down. She grabbed the bag and she looked at her husband. She's like, baby, we gotta go back to the butcher shop now. We gotta go now. So granddaddy like, okay, come on. So they get in the car, they go back to the butcher shop, and they get there, the butcher shop is closed. Grandma breaks down. She starts crying. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Dion like, Grandma, what's wrong? She didn't answer Dion. Grandma still just, you know, like panicking. The granddaddy, he looks nervous, but he don't want nobody to know. So he's like, baby, calm down. It's okay. And she's like, no, it's not okay. It's not okay. You know, Jasmine and Reese like, Grandma, rub her shoulder. Grandma, you okay? You okay, Grandma? And she's like, Grandma's okay, baby. I'm fine. Y'all just sit back, put your seatbelt on. And Granddad drive back to the house. When he get back to the house, Grandma's hesitant on getting out the car. She's just like, you know, seems like she didn't want to get out. Grandpa comes around, open the door to let her out and everything, but she don't want to get out the car. She's like, let's just get a hotel tonight. And Granddad's like, it's late. The girls need to get in the bed, babe. Like, we need to go in the house. She's like, no, we just gonna call him Henry. No, Henry, we need to go to a hotel tonight. But Henry didn't, whatever. Henry's like, no, we going in the house. Everything's gonna be fine, babe. And he gets Grandma out of the car, And of course, the girls are confused as fuck. Like, what the fuck is wrong with grandma? So they go into the house. When they get in the house, grandma rushes all three of them to the room. She rushed Dion, Jasmine, and Reese to the room. She pushed them in the room. She closed the door behind her. She said, now look, say y'all get in the bed. And when I leave out this room, you lock this door behind me. And Jasmine's like, why, grandma? She like, do as I say. When I leave this room, you lock the door behind me. And you don't open this door until I knock on this door in the morning. So Dion like, what if I use the bathroom? She like, you're not gonna have to use the bathroom. Just do not open this door until I knock on the door in the morning. Reese is looking at Jasmine like, grandma lost her shit. But everybody agrees. Okay, yes, ma'am, we won't open the door. So she goes out the door, and before she goes out, she peeks around and she like, lock the door now. So she snatches her head out and she closes the door, and Jasmine locks the door. They go over there and sit in the bed. Jasmine looking at Reese. Reese looking at Dion. What the hell is wrong with grandma? Why she acting like that? And what was that stinking shit that was on the ground? Like, everybody got questions, but nobody got answers. So they just eventually talk until they fall asleep. Dion wakes up, but she's dizzy, she's weak, she drowsy, she can't really see, you know what I'm saying? When she knows she's sitting up, she kind of like turns her head, and she's tied to a fucking chair. Like, what the fuck is going on? And you know, she's weak, she's in and out, but she's fighting to stay awake, and she looks around and she sees Jasmine and Reese is also tied to chairs. Like, what the hell is going on? She don't know what's going on. Too weak to move, too weak to even talk. She's in and out. She's trying to keep her eyes open. She's trying to fight. She looks around and she sees two tall ass men standing in the doorway in like old timey clothes. And they standing there and they look pale as shit. And like they flashed like a blink. They flashed from the front door to around Reese and Jasmine. She's fighting. She's trying to stay up. She's looking. And she see both of these motherfuckers got, you know, like they're chewing on their arms or some shit. They got their arms in their mouth like that. So it's like, what the fuck? So she's trying to stay woke. And she see this shit going on. She can't move. She's weak. And she's just like, Grandma, Grandma. And she gets up the breath and the strength to scream out, Grandma. And then she passes out. She wakes up. She's in the back seat of her grandparents' car. Reese's there with her. Jasmine's on the other side. Grandma's in the car, like, go, hurry, hurry, go. Grandpa's flushing. You can hear the engine. Ooh, like they are driving fast as shit. Grandma screaming, go, go, go. And she passes out again. She wakes up. When she wakes up this time, her and both her sisters, Jasmine and Reese, are in the bed. All three of them are in the bed together. Grandma's on the side of the bed, on her knees, praying by their bed. Grandpa's pacing back and forth in front of the foot of the bed. So when she wakes up, you know, she pats Reese pats Jasmine. They like patting like, what the fuck going on? You know what I'm saying? So grandma realized they up and she's like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Y'all awoke. Y'all okay? Y'all okay? So everybody's sitting up like, what's going on? What happened? I don't know what happened. What's wrong? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? And grandma was like, y'all are okay. We okay. You know what I'm saying? And the instant was like, the man! It was the man! It was the man! Like she started freaking out. She's like, it was the man! It was the man in the room! It was the man! And granddaddy rushed over and he grabbed her. He like, calm down, I got you. I got you. And she's shaking and shivering. She's like, the man was in the room, the man was in the room. And Jasmine and Reese are like, what the fuck is going on? What man? Like everybody's confused on what the fuck going on. So grandpa sat down on the bed. He got Dion in his lap and he's holding her. And Reese and Jasmine is still in the bed. The grandmama is standing on the side of the bed. So she's like, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. But once I tell y'all what happened, y'all can't tell nobody. It's gotta be our secret. Jasmine looking at, you know, what the fuck? She looking at Reese like, what the fuck? And Dion just like, what happened? She want to know what happened. And grandma was like, you gotta promise. You gotta promise that you won't tell nobody. Not even your mama, not even your dad. You can't tell nobody. And all of them, of course, promised. They wasn't gonna say that. So grandma said, y'all were attacked. And everybody was like, what the fuck? Attacked? She's like, y'all were attacked. And Jasmine was like, attacked by what? What the fuck were we attacked by? And grandma looked them square in the eyes and she said, a vampire. Jasmine's like, Grandma, vampires aren't real. I don't know what's going on, but vampires aren't real. And we was always taught not to lie. It sounds like you lying, Grandma. Like, it sounds like you lying. And Grandma was like, no, baby, I'm not. And she got on the bed and she sat down and she pulled her sleeve up where the bandage was. She unwrapped the bandage from around her arm and she showed them her wrist. It was a slit on her wrist. That like it was trying to heal, you know what I'm saying? And they all looking at her wrist and she was like, see? And everybody's like, they look down at their wrist and all they, arms are wrapped up just like Grandma's was, right around the wrist. So Grandma, they like, Grandma, vampires not real. And Grandma was like, yes, they are. She said, down here, they're real. So she tells them, she said that this place that we, the house that we have, she said, when we got that house, it was dirt cheap. She said, we thought the woman that, was giving us the house had lost her fucking mind. She said, the lady sold your granddaddy the house for $15. She said, you see the house is big, it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see this spot, it's big and beautiful. So when the lady said $15, your granddaddy jumped on it. You know what I'm saying? She said, the lady told her, though, it was on a few conditions. She said, the lady told her that, the rent will continue to be that amount and everything, but they had to always keep two cats in the house. Always had to keep two cats in the house. They could never be without two cats in the house. Like I said, if y'all are ever without two cats in the house, it'll be a problem. Things are gonna get real bad for y'all. So I suggest you get two cats and keep them in the house. They just wanted the house. So whatever bubble gum bullshit she was talking about, they just agreed with it. All right, two cats, gotcha. Garfield and Snickles, gotcha. We'll keep it. You know what I'm saying? The lady was just like, you heard what I said. We heard you. We got it. You know what I'm saying? So they did that. For the first couple of months, they did that. But they hated it because they would get two cats, and the next day, the two cats would be gone. And then they were forced to go get another two cats. And the next day, they would be gone. They started getting like strays off the street cats, bring them in the house. And the next day, they would be gone. They locked the house up, locked up the windows. They don't know how the fuck the cats keep getting out the house. They are tired of getting fucking cats. So one night they decide, fuck that shit. We ain't getting on no motherfucking cats. And they didn't. And that night, they didn't get any more cats. Grandma said she was in the bed with Granddad. She said she woke up because she felt pain on her left arm. She said as she opened her eyes, she felt dizzy. She felt weak. She couldn't really sit up. She couldn't really move around or nothing. She said she couldn't even move her arm to hit your granddad and wake him up and let him know, I think I'm having a fucking heart attack or something. She said she couldn't move at all. She said she looked over to the left and she seen two men holding her arm, both of them. They got the same arm and both of them are latched on to this fucking arm. They done cut her wrist or whatever, open her wrist up, and they are both like latched on to this fucking arm. She sees this shit. She's too weak to even move or stop them or try to fight them or anything. She just has to sit there and watch this shit until these motherfuckers like vanish like smoke. They just disintegrated right before her motherfucking eyes. And she's just looking at her arm like bleed. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, hey, hey. And finally her husband hears her. He turns up like, what? And he sees this shit. And he jumps up to help. So she told them that happened like maybe a couple months after they got this house. They had been in this house for almost 20 years now. Ever since then, Grandma says she realized that she could get blood. She said the motherfuckers just want blood. It didn't matter what kind of blood, just blood. So she figured she'd go to the butcher shop, get the blood from the butcher shop, and leave that shit out. You know what I'm saying? And they'll have that, and then they don't bother them. When they have access to blood, they don't bother them. They don't see these motherfuckers, hear these motherfuckers, nothing. Only until there's no blood supply around is when they start feeding on their asses. And the grandmama told them, that's what's been going on. That's why y'all seen me stop at a butcher shop today and get this blood, because I didn't want anything to happen to y'all because we didn't have no blood, you know. So Granddad was like, I thought because we put so much blood out there the last time that they wouldn't show up, you know what I'm saying? But they did. So, and this is real, you know what I'm saying? And she's telling them, and Dion and Reese and Jasmine is just like, for real, Grandma? And she's like, for real, Grandma. I got the same bruises y'all. They couldn't believe that shit. It was like, So what do we do, Grandma? Grandma said, well, you can go back home if you want to go home, but you can't tell your mom and daddy what I told y'all. Or you can stay here with us and, we'll make sure we keep blood in the house and they won't bother y'all. So what you think they choose? They chose to stay. Weird as shit, I know. I was like, what? Yes, they chose to stay. Apparently they was feeding on the cats. They were feeding on the cat's blood, and that's why Grandpa and Grandma never had anything to happen to them until there wasn't no cat around for them to feed on. And that's when Grandma's ass became a Happy Meal with a 2-piece of a biscuit. So they decided they didn't want to go home. They wanted to stay with their grandparents, and they left the hotel that morning, and they went to the butcher shop. And they got blood. They walked in. Grandma let them come in with her and everything this time. They walked in with Grandma, and Grandma ordered the blood. The man gave her blood. And she put it in the bag, and they walked right on out with Grandma. You know what I'm saying? And Grandma, when they went back to the house, Grandma put it where they normally put it. You know what I'm saying? For these motherfuckers, put it where they normally put it. And the next day, nobody had anything to happen to them that night. Dion, Reese, Jasmine. Nobody woke up to anything happening to them that night. When they did get up, they did see that the blood was gone. So the whole time they was there, they became Grandma's little helpers. They reminded Grandma to go to the butcher shop to get the blood. They reminded Grandma to put the blood out. Like, they pretty much couldn't believe they knew some fucking vampires that lived in their house. They couldn't believe that shit. So they was excited. Weird kids, but they were excited about this shit. So they went to the butcher shop and they would get blood. Because, butchers cut meat and all that shit. So Grandma's like, that's what she gonna go get. She didn't want to kill no animals. She didn't want to bleed herself dry. You know what I'm saying? Go to the Red Cross. They need that shit for people. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they stayed there about a good 2 weeks with Grandma. They never got, attacked again. They made sure Grandma kept blood out every night. Grandma and Grandpa kept blood out every night. Nobody else got attacked again. Now, when they got older, of course, they stopped going, over their grandparents' house when they started getting like maybe 12, 13 years old. They stopped going. It had been like they wanted to go all the time. But then they got like 12, 13, technology comes into play, boyfriends, all that shit. And they just stopped going to Grandma and Grandpa's house. But when they got older, Deanna decided to call bullshit on what their grandma was doing. They thought their grandma was doing something with the blood. When they got older, they started thinking their grandma was doing something with the blood. Like, nah, it wasn't no fucking vampire. That shit ain't real. Until they started to dig and do research. And they come across the Carter brothers. The Carter brothers lived in the exact same fucking house that their grandparents lived in back in 1932. They lived there. So one night, some people noticed a girl running frantically through an alleyway. She was screaming, she was belligerent, she was weak, she was dizzy, but she was running through this fucking alleyway. And the people stop her to help her, and they call the police. And the police comes out and she tells them that she was being held captive by vampires. Now the police is like, what the fuck? This little girl is clearly off her mind. But when they looked at her arms, she had bandages on her arms and cuts on her arms. She had a slit on her wrist. So the police was like, real shit? This really going on? She like, real shit. So they tell her, take us back to the house you just ran from. And she did. The police goes inside the house. They find 4 other bodies. In this house, all 4 of these people are tied to chairs. All these people have both arms, both wrists wrapped up. Upon examination, all these people's wrists had pretty much been slit. And they was wrapped up. Half dead. These people was weak, no blood, really half fucking dead. She told them 2 men, they leave in the morning, like we don't see them in the daytime, but they only show up at night to come feed on us. That's what the little girl told the police. So the police decided they was going to, catch these motherfuckers. They catch these motherfuckers, and sure as shit, these motherfuckers had those people there drinking their blood, like real shit. They captured these people, tied the motherfuckers up, and used them as fucking energy drinks at night. The police was like, is this shit for real? Like, people really doing this shit? In New Orleans, you never know what the fuck you'll encounter. So once they see this shit, of course, they get the guys and yeah, long story short, grandmama and them is now living in the house where the fucking vampires lived and fed. And yeah, they're Slurpees. Yeah, that's well. So these are the motherfuckers that they feel after seeing photos, after searching and searching and searching and searching and searching and finding photos of the Carter brothers. That's when Dion was like, that's them. That's the two dudes I saw. Like, that's them. She was able to say, that's them. Right? So grandma and grandpa passed. Well, grandpa passed first, and then grandma passed. And once grandma passed, before grandma passed, she tells Jasmine, Reese, and Dion she needs to speak with them. So they come down to the house. Grandma's on her deathbed pretty much, and she's telling them, like, look, I need to give the house to one of y'all. And they like, what? With the vampires in it? You gonna take the vampires with you? Or are they staying here? No. They're staying here. They're not coming to the upper room with me. But I'm going to need one of y'all to take over the house. This house has to stay in a family. If it don't stay in a family, every family member of the family that last lived there will experience tragedy. So I need one of y'all to take over the house. And now they were left with deciding who the fuck was going to adopt the fucking ghost vampires in the house. Well, paper, scissors, rock didn't work. That's for damn sure. They didn't paper, scissors, rock that shit. None of that. So what they did was grandma's losing her mind. That shit ain't real. Grandma's losing her mind. So they told grandma that one of them will take over the house. That's what they told grandma. One of them will take over the house. Grandma passed. They let the house go. Neither one of them wanted the house, and they let the house go. Well, 2 weeks after the house was let go, Dion's fiance was killed in a car accident. He hadn't even made it in the family good, and his ass was already going to the upper room to be with grandma, so grandma could let him know why he died, because my granddaughters didn't keep their fucking words, so you had to catch the ass end of the situation. Jasmine is pretty much infertile all of a sudden. All of a sudden. She had been trying to have babies, trying to IV, the in vitros, and all this shit. And now, for some strange reason, when the doctors go to look at her, she's barren. When she wasn't like that at first. But now she is. And doctors can't explain it. Because looking at an ultrasound from last year and then looking at one from this year, it's not explaining how the fuck this happened. But that is what's going on. Reese, on the other hand, didn't have nothing bad happen to her. Because Reese went behind their back and decided to keep the fucking house. So Reese got the house under an anonymous name so that they didn't know. Because she didn't want them to be like, you get in that house, something will happen to you. Don't call me when they drinking on your ass. So she didn't say nothing to them. She bought the house under an anonymous name. She kept the house in the family. Nobody's ever lived in it. Nobody in the family has ever lived in the house, but the house is still in her name. She ain't selling it to nobody. She's keeping that shit in the family. And ever since she kept that shit, kept it in the family, nothing has really happened to anybody else. Like, tragically, nothing else has really fucking happened. She's kept the house in the family. She still has the house right now, even though, she don't live there. She still has the house because she's scared that if she let the house go, somebody in her family gonna die. I don't know. Grandma told him, I don't know. So yeah, Reese decided to keep the house and didn't say shit. She just kept it and didn't say nothing. But I'm pretty sure she's gonna have to tell the story to somebody, because somebody else gonna have to get the house when she passed. So the story got to be told to somebody else. It's just a matter of who gonna get the house, who gonna take the house. Are you gonna bring them in and let them experience the vampires for themselves to believe this shit? Like, who's gonna get the house? Who? Reese still have the house to this day. She's not letting it go. She's not selling it to anybody until I guess when she passed, she'll try to find a family like somebody like they did her family. Hopefully, she'll try to find a family. I don't know, but nah, she ain't want to risk it. She ain't want to risk it, and she was pregnant with a high risk pregnancy. She didn't want to risk nothing happening to her baby, so she got that fucking house, and she only paid $15, so it's not like it's just rent flowing out ass around here. So yeah, but nobody go in it. I don't know what the little vampires are doing without their blood, but nobody has been able to stock their ass up since her grandparents died. So there you go. That's you guys' second story, or last story of the night. Yes, the Carter brothers. You can look it up. Y'all already know I don't tell y'all nothing but facts. So you can look the shit up all you want to. 1932 Carter brother in New Orleans. You can check it out. I don't want to visit the damn house. You can check it out. Yeah, but that was you guys' stories for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me for story time. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys had an amazing time with me tonight. I hope y'all are a little tipsy from the Suddenly game. And yeah. Any cash ups I could Chastain. Hold on, let me go. Go back here. Okay. It was Dion, Jasmine, and Reality. Dion, Jasmine, and Reality. Listen to my what street is it on so I can drive by and see it. Let me look right quick. So apparently she said that the house was, excuse me. The house is on the corner of Royal and St. Anne. So there you go, Reese. You can check it out. I doubt anybody live in it. You can check it out, ride by. Still, don't knock on no doors. Don't invite no motherfuckers. Don't go out there and be all inviting. Hi, can I see the vampires here? Don't do all that crazy shit. Y'all know I don't normally give out information on these locations and shit like that. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna become a tourist spot later on. So it's okay for you to drive by. Okay, don't freak the fuck out and ask these folks, can you come to the house and see a goddamn vampire? Okay, just drive by. So I told you where it was on the corner. Just drive by and be like, oh, that's the house. You'll know. But that was you guys' story time. Thank you so much for joining me for story time. I greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys again on Fuck That Friday. And we're going to do 2 more stories at 7:30 Eastern. So make sure you stop and get your snacks, your cakes, your pies, your tip money for your auntie, and be here at 7:30 Eastern. No hallway ball jocking. None of that shit. You have your ass here and you be on time. Yeah, don't take them no blood, Reese. Don't show up with no blood. If you on your cycle, bitch, stay at home. Don't even drive by on your cycle. They might attach themselves to you because you smell like O negative. So get your ass away from that house. Don't even show up on your period. If you got a busted lip, drive the other goddamn way. If your nose starting to bleed, bitch, drive the other way. No blood in that area, okay? Period. All right, guys. I will see you guys on tomorrow on Fucking Friday, because that's what I'm calling it. Fucking Friday, right before Mother's Day. I love you guys. Have a good night's sleep, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Y'all know my motto: stay safe, social distance, and don't slap the sleeves off a bitch unless she earns it. I love you and good night.